FBI has begun an urgent investigation into the second assassination attempt on former US President Donald Trump. Police have released the body cam video showing law enforcement arresting the would-be assassin suspected of firing gunshots near Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump's golf course over the weekend. The Secret Service chief said that they had to draw out a security plan for Trump's unscheduled stop at his golf course on Sunday and lauded the agents for executing the security plan successfully. Taiwan's defense ministry has said that it is investigating the consignment of military equipment delivered between November and March this year under the US Presidential Drawdown Authority, the PDA. This comes after it was reported that moldy armor and expired ammunition were among unserviceable US military equipment delivered to Taiwan. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said that his government's first budget next month wouldn't take steps that undermine his goal to generate growth, but warned that unfunded spending commitments could damage the economy. He said he has a dire inheritance left by the previous Conservative administration. The new finance minister warned of increasing taxes on the 30th of October because there was a $29 billion black hole in the public finances. Ahead of that budget, Starmer stated that dealing with problems in public finance was essential for creating the stability necessary for growth, adding that all decisions would be made against the objective of growth.
And I was proud to announce a new national monument located at St James's Park.
Gaza's Health Ministry has stated that the Palestinian death toll since the outbreak of the war in October last year has crossed 41,000, leaving more than 95,000 injured. Israeli military actions over the past 24 hours resulted in 20 deaths and 76 injuries. Amid intensified violence and stalled ceasefire negotiations, threatening the continuation of a crucial polio vaccination campaign for children. Yemen's Houthis say they downed another US-made MQ-9 Reaper drone over Dhamar province. The video circulating online showed what appeared to be a surface-to-air missile strike and flaming wreckage strewn across the ground. Without elaborating, the US military has said that they were aware of the Houthis' claim. Meta has said that it is banning Russian state media outlets from its apps around the world due to foreign interference activity. The ban by Meta comes after the United States accused RT and employees of the state-run agency of funneling $10 million through shell entities to covertly fund influence campaigns on social media channels including TikTok, Instagram, X and YouTube. According to threat reports released by the social media giant, Russia is the biggest source of covert influence operations disrupted by Meta at its platform since 2017, and which was ramped up after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Several people are still feared trapped under the rubble after a 7-story building collapsed in Sierra Leone's capital on Monday. Rescue workers are searching for survivors after at least 8 people died, including 3 children in the building collapse. Relatives and friends of the late Honduran anti-mining activist Juan Lopez turned his funeral into a cause to shed light on the environmental activists' plight in the Central American country. Juan Lopez, an environmental activist, was shot dead last Saturday. He was known for protesting against mining and hydroelectric projects in northern Honduras in an effort to preserve tropical forests and rivers. Juan Lopez is the fourth member of an environmental activism group based in Tocoa to be killed once since 2023. India has condemned comments made by Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on the treatment of minorities in the South Asian nation, calling his remarks misinformed and unacceptable. India has advised Tehran to look at its own record first before making any such observations about another country. India's reaction comes after Khamenei in his social media post stated that they cannot consider themselves to be Muslims if they are oblivious to the suffering of Muslims in Myanmar, Gaza, India or any other place. India's West Bengal government has conceded to most demands of doctors who continued their protests in the Kolkata rape and murder case of a junior doctor. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has decided to remove Kolkata Police Commissioner Vineet Kumar Goyal, the police chief of the city's North Zone Abhishek Kumar and two officials of the health department. She has also accepted the demands for the upgrade in hospital infrastructure, earmarking over rupees 100 crore for it. An agreement was reached after a 2-hour-long meeting with the protesting doctors. China is boosting its satellite data transmission. It has successfully deployed a laser communication ground system with a 500 mm Excalibur antenna on the plateau in northwest China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. The system, which has been developed by the Aerospace Information Research Institute of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, marks the end of relying solely on microwave ground stations for satellite data reception. One of China's most important traditional holidays is being celebrated across the country. In Liangjiang, New Area, southwest China's Chongqing, 300 meters of lanterns on the water lit up the surface of Longtang Lake, creating a vibrant atmosphere for the Mid-Autumn Festival. This festival takes place annually on the 15th day of the 8th month in the Chinese lunar calendar and is being observed on September 17th this year. Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu visited displaced residents and local leaders in flood-hit Maiduguri, which displaced more than 1 million people in and around the capital of Borno State. Tinubu assured the displaced residents of providing all government help. Last week's floods killed 37 people, destroying property and rendered Maiduguri and Jere local government residents homeless. The death toll from massive flooding in Myanmar in the wake of Typhoon Yagi has doubled to 226, while 77 people are still missing, as the UN warned as many as 630,000 people could be in need of help. The floods are a result of Typhoon Yagi that swept across northern Vietnam, Laos, Thailand and Myanmar. More than a week ago, it brought with itself powerful winds and an enormous amount of rain, triggering floods and landslides that have killed more than 500 people. Flooding sparked by Storm Boris in Central Europe has burst dams, knocking out power and killing at least 18 people. As more people were evacuated further north in eastern Germany, mobile flood protection walls were set up in some areas to protect Dresden's old city. As the river level rose, locals and military personnel started building sandbag dams along the Danube River. A massive wildfire has broken out in the central and northern regions of Portugal. More than 1,500 firefighters have been fighting the fire across different locations. Portugal has requested the European Union for additional hands to combat the fire. At least 4 houses were burned and 20 threatened on Monday by a series of out-of-control wildfires. Temperatures have topped 30 degrees Celsius over the weekend and are expected to stay high till Tuesday. Indonesia's trade surplus rises to a 3-month high in August, topping forecasts as exports grew much faster than expected. The August trade data is among economic indicators the central bank will analyze during its 2-day policy meeting starting on Tuesday. Economists polled by Reuters ahead of the trade expected banked Indonesia to leave rates unchanged. The world's top exporter of thermal coal, palm oil and nickel metals reported a surplus of $2.89 billion just last month, compared with $1.96 billion expected in Reuters poll. India's TAB Foundry or contract manufacturing business has signed up Amazon's cloud services unit as a customer for making custom artificial intelligence chips. The deal gives the chip maker a vote of confidence amid its struggles. Intel's shares rose roughly 8% in extended trading after the company released a memo to employees announcing Intel had secured the Amazon unit as a multi-billion-dollar customer. A new study shows drivers are more likely to engage in non-driving activities such as checking their phones or eating a sandwich when using partial automation systems, with some easily skirting rules set to limit distractions. Insurance Institute for Highway Safety conducted month-long studies with 2 such systems, Tesla's Autopilot and Volvo's Pilot Assist. They examined the driver behavior when the technology was in use and how it evolved over time. While launching and commercializing, driverless taxis have been together. The tendency to avoid distraction limits is a worrying trend that could reshape how we once envisioned self-driving cars. Thailand is planning to raise government borrowing by about 8% in the fiscal year starting October to economic growth. 41% of the total $78 billion will be fresh borrowing to mainly finance the budget deficit. The rest has been earmarked for refinancing and restructuring of existing debt. The Public Debt Management Office held a meeting with bond transfers with bond traders and fund managers on Monday in Bangkok. The government had targeted a 7.6% increase in borrowing for the current fiscal year. Kazakhstan is planning to boost the output of metals needed for EV batteries. Kazakhstan's industry minister has said the country is issuing hundreds of new exploration licenses to attract fresh investment in the sector. The country is aiming to gain market share in battery materials. This includes metals such as lithium, cobalt, manganese, nickel, graphite, amid rising demand for the materials. Kazakhstan has deposits of 90% of the elements of the periodic table. It already is a global supplier of alloy, gold, copper, uranium, titanium and nickel. A nursery in Dubai is utilizing AI and technology. Children at the Friendly Early Childhood Center can be seen having conversations with a robot dog and using interactive whiteboards, sandbox and floor. An AI-based early warning system is helping reduce death risk in hospitalized patients. ChartWatch, an AI-based system developed by a team of researchers led by an Indian origin scientist, identifies hospitalized patients who are at high risk of rapid health deterioration. ChartWatch tracks patients' health and sends real-time alerts and daily emails to the healthcare workers. The team also created a pathway for high-risk patients, which prompted increased monitoring by nurses and enhanced communication.